Welcome to my podcast. If you do not know who I am, my name is Kelsey, also known as Kelsey Danielle on YouTube. I originated on YouTube speaking in regards to VSG or weight loss patient surgery issues. And so I am branching over to the podcast platform to ensure that my viewers and my subscribers who don't always have the time to sit down and listen to a video or watch a video can actually listen to what I have to say and still get that content and that information without having to hone in and focus on a video. My plan with this platform is to speak on an array of topics, life, health, beauty, sex, whatever comes to the table. I plan on having special guests, roundtable discussions, just a lot of different fun and interesting things that can really open the door for further discussions and growth in many areas. The initial launch of my podcast was not going to be until January 2022, but this is what I would like to call a shock drop. So this is my first official podcast posting. I'm really excited. I'm also very nervous. You guys know how I am, or if you don't, I'm a very nervous person. I want to do it right. I want to make sure that I am putting out quality content and also delivering information and things that can be useful to people, that's interesting and also capturing. So I hope you guys are, ready for this. I'm ready for this. This will be my first episode. The remaining of my episodes will not begin to post until January of 22. But anything that is available on my YouTube channel as of January 22, it will be available in podcast form as well. So if you're interested in that, you guys, it is coming. Trust me. So the topic tonight we're going to be speaking about is the negative effects of eating too much protein. Now, as a bariatric patient, as a VSG patient, we know how important protein is. We know that protein is the building block of our recovery, the building block of our, everything. It really determines how well we do with our post-operative life. But according to, Mayo Clinic and other surgeons, my surgeon, you can get too much protein and you can develop health issues by ingesting too much protein. And that's kind of mind-blowing to me because, your surgeon and your nutritionist, they push the protein so hard. And so when I was doing my research and talking to my nutritionist and just really discussing this as a whole, I was kind of like mind blown. Like there's some serious things that can happen to weight loss patients and anyone who ingests too much protein. So I'm going to talk about a few of those things and just leave the table open for discussion in regards to this. So the first thing that I was able to find is that ingesting too much protein can cause kidney damage. It may seem shocking, that's a really big thing to put out there, but science tells us that super high protein diets seriously put a lot of stress and taxing on the kidneys because they have to work harder to eliminate nitrogen from the bloodstream. Typically, the body can expel normal amounts of protein through urine, but if you eat too much, your kidneys become stressed and they're trying to rid all of that protein from your body and can lead to renal damage over long term. And to me, that is absolutely mind-blowing. And so now I'm like, okay, so what is too much protein? How do I know if I'm eating too much protein? Like, what if me having this surgery and I'm getting, 60, 70, 80 grams of protein a day? Is that too much? Am I doing too much? Like, is this just it? Like, how do I know? And that's so crazy to me because our recovery and us being successful is based so much on protein. Like, really, that is so crazy. The next thing is weight gain. Many of us don't, and I think after you've gone through your weight loss journey and you're moving on to your year mark, your 2-year mark, I think that protein it becomes a normal part of our regimen. Lord, I still can't talk on a podcast. I would think that, not being on camera and not having to be, all prim and proper, I wouldn't know how to talk. No, I don't know how to talk, even on a podcast. We understand that protein is very important to us at that stage in our journey. And many of us, like me, I am basically on a super high protein diet, low carbohydrate, low sugar, or no sugar. And it helps me to maintain a healthy weight loss and also, to keep the weight off. However, many nutritional experts agree that while you may see short-term weight loss, that the weight creeps back up and even exceeds the weight that you started with. And, and that's all chalked up to eating too much protein. Protein can cause weight gain. And I, didn't know this. I kind of knew about this a little bit when I was doing keto before my surgery. It wasn't as known for me then. I had to kind of do research. I was like, okay, what's going on? Why am I gaining weight? And it was because I was eating too much protein. Protein can have a negative effect on weight loss. Protein it's a building block. So we use protein as weight loss patients to ensure that we are building and repairing and growing, but overuse of protein can cause you to gain weight. That's seriously, I had no idea. The next thing is going to be not being in a good mood. I had no idea that getting too much protein could cause me to be a bitch. Really, who would have thought? Seriously, raise your hand if you thought getting too much protein would make you a butthole. Not I, said the cat. Not I. It is recommended that a balanced diet be the way to go for bariatric patients, really for everyone, to ensure that your moods and your levels and everything, your serotonin, all of that is just good to go. It's just, I'm still just how in the hell can protein contribute to a mood? With a study that was done by an Australian university, discovered that individuals who stuck to a low carb diet with a high protein regimen experienced significant negative effects on their mood. The participants reported a link between their low carb eating regimen and increased irritability, depression, and grouchiness due to the lack of carbs. And so, and I'm gonna say, with my keto lifestyle, when I first would start keto, or if I had been on a binge, or I had, whatever, and I was transitioning back into not having those carbs again, I was pissed off 90% of my day. And I can completely understand what this study is saying. It doesn't necessarily say that the protein causes that, but I know that with carbs, the sugar and the starch, it allows the brain to produce those serotonin, good mood hormones. So I don't know where the link in protein is. Where does the protein come in? If you're not getting enough protein, does it cause you to want carbs? There it is. I just made it with myself. So I feel if you're not getting enough protein, you're then going to want to get carbs, because the carbs are going to provide that instant boost of energy, that sugar, that rush. But if you're not getting it, they're going to start craving those carbs. But if you're not getting the carbs that you are used to getting, it's going to cause a really bad mood dysfunction. Get it? Got it. The next thing, heart disease. Heart disease can be a direct effect of ingesting too much protein in your daily diet. How could you, really? It says the Mayo Clinic insists that opting for a diet that is rich in lean protein after any type of bariatric or weight loss surgery, or just in general, it can cause a negative effect on the short-term medical health. And that's because a diet rich in red meat and full-fat dairy products can increase the risk of cardiovascular disease. Now, for us who are bariatric patients, a lot of our protein comes from meat, cheese, dairy. They do ask us to, lean more towards the leaner meats like chicken and fish and, sometimes pork. But let's be real, a lot of times we're going to eat whatever it is that we feel we want at that moment. And it's not always the best protein wise, because that protein, it puts a strain on your heart. And so I'm oh my goodness. So now I have to be specific about the type of protein that I'm ingesting, because it can cause heart disease. This was, something that I wasn't aware of, really. The next thing is going to be ketosis and chronic bad breath. Did you guys know that ingesting a lot of protein can put you into ketosis, which, is kind of like a double-ended sword. Like, you have some people who want to be in ketosis because it is the maximum fat burning time for anyone who is trying to lose weight. Anybody. If you're trying to lose weight, if you are trying to do your thing out here in these streets, if you're trying to be out here looking fine, sucked, tucked, and laid to the side, keto is going to be the way to go. But it causes chronic bad breath. I'm telling you guys. Sometimes when I was doing keto, I was like, my breath smells like a fresh whiff of ass. Like, there's no way that I should be speaking to anyone within a 50-mile radius because my breath stinks so bad. Luckily, I didn't get like the crotch rot or the weird body smells that typically come with ketosis or with like the keto lifestyle. It was just my breath, which was typically you could cure with like gum or mouthwash or, brushing your teeth or drinking something. Typically when I drank something, it would kind of like get rid of that horrid smell that would pour out of my mouth. But it is warned by medical professionals that those who, live on a high protein, low carbohydrate diet, that you will you'll have weight loss, but you will develop chronically stinky breath. And that is directly linked with ketosis. And just to reiterate what ketosis occurs when the body, due to a lack of carbohydrates, begins to utilize fat for fuel. As the body scorches your fat stores, it triggers the production of a ketone, which when emitted, will leave you literally breathing out stinky ketone chemicals. And no amount of brushing, mouthwashing, or gum chewing will get rid of it. The gum or the mouthwashing or the brushing, it will help, but you're still going to have ass breath. Just be aware. So that typically comes from having a high protein, low carbohydrate diet, which I am all too familiar with. Last but not least, we're going to talk about the digestive issues with eating too much protein. I don't know if you all have experienced this. I try to get my protein from beans, whole grains, fruits, veggies, and, of course, your meat products. Staying on that regimen, it causes me to have a lack of fiber in my diet, which can cause bloating, constipation, gas, things like that. And unfortunately, it had an effect on my ability to go to the bathroom. Consuming high amounts of protein really fucked up the pipes. So I am having to take a laxative on the regular basis, whether it be Miralax or just like a regular over-the-counter laxative, to get things regular and moving. So this is a very short podcast, but it's just me talking about the negative side effects of having too much protein. I hope you guys enjoyed this. I hope you guys enjoyed the different type of atmosphere. You won't be seeing my lovely face, but you will be hearing my lovely voice. Thank you so much. If you guys have any other negative side effects of eating protein or eating too much protein, drop that down in the comment section down below. I want to know your thoughts, your opinions, and everything else when it comes to protein and eating too much and possibly having those weird side effects from doing so. If you guys are loving the podcast vibes, if you guys are feeling if you are picking up what I'm putting down, boo, also make sure to hit that like button. Follow me over on my Anchor podcast. The name of my podcast is simply OBAT Extended, which is one bite at a time extended. You can reach me on my custom URL, which is anchor.fm/Kelsey-Danielle. I will link this in my link tree on my bio on Instagram if you have any problems finding it, as well as here on the video. I'm so excited for the launching of my podcast. You guys, I'm really, really, really just excited, and I have this fire burning again. I hope you guys enjoy this type of content. It's going to be more than just VSG over here, so get ready for it. Anytime I do post a podcast video, it will be available on YouTube as well. Just in case you don't want to go over to Anchor, you'll have that ability to have it here on YouTube, but it will be in a video form. Anchor, of course, will just be audio. All right, you guys, I'm going to go ahead and get out of here. If you've made it this far in the video, please make sure to drop a headset or a headphone emoji in the comment section. Let me know that you are here for the podcast. All right, you guys, I'm going to go ahead and get out of here. Love you to the moon and back. Bye.